Well, it's time to go ahead and start painting this truck. Had it for probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. Actually, the paint was given to me, but it didn't come with any thinners, any clear coat, need a lot of other stuff. And then I saw a picture of a yellow truck that my brother had painted for the boat company, and I really liked it, and it's yellow. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and paint this sucker yellow. This is the paint that I was going to use. It's about a half a gallon of this gray, probably exactly the same as the original car was painted. But again, like I said before, I do not have the clear coat, I do not have the thinners. I basically have nothing except for the actual paint. And I decided to go ahead and paint it a yellow color. I'm going to be using a gloss hardener. You can mix one of these with every quart. I got 2 quarts, which is half a gallon of paint, so I'll mix both of these bottles in it. And I also got some reducer. Mix about half of this per quart. I got 2 quarts, therefore I used the whole thing. It's pretty simple. Before I actually paint the car though, I'm going to seal it with this. Of course, before I paint the truck, I got to make room in the garage so I can paint it. The garage is over there and it needs a lot of work. I'm just going to push stuff out of the way as quick as I can, get this job started. So this table's got to go, the motorcycle's got to get out, all this surfboard junk has to be moved out of here. Yesterday I finished most of the sanding in the garage, but today I had to go to work because I didn't get the job done yesterday. And right now I'm working on getting the rest of these letters off, and they're real simple. I just take a scraper. It is actually really sharp from all the years of using it. And I just kind of go along the edge like this and take them off. Hot air gun, soften the glue up behind it. I'm going to go get a razor blade. This is kind of scratching the car up a little bit. Oh, this razor blade's still scratching it up a lot. So I'm just going to try a wooden stick or something. The stir stick has a fairly sharp edge on it. So I think if I heat it up, I can probably scrape it off after I heated it up. That's what we're going to try. That didn't work very good at all. So far, the razor blade by itself works the best. Got most of the residue off, so now I'm going to try to get the rest of the glue off with a little bit of lacquer thinner. And here's the one on the other side that still haven't got all the glue off. I tried to just sand this off and it didn't work so well, so I got to get the thick of it off first. I can sand the rest of it off. I had a lot of trouble with these papers slipping out, so when I cut these, I cut out of a full sheet. I cut a quarter out, but really just cut the sheet in half and then folded it, and I glued it back together with Elmer's glue, so both sides are sandpapery. That helps it kind of stay in, it makes it a little bit thicker, and it gives it a little something to bite onto on this. There's a little thing here that holds it in as you clamp it down. So you hook it back on, then you just come around to the front, bend it around, and slide it up underneath these metal clamp holder things. Because it's thicker, it's a little harder to bend. But because it's thicker, it stays in better. I don't really plan on doing much body work, or barely any at all, but I have a couple rust holes here, so I'm going to go and at least fill them with something. I'd recommend using Bondo or something like that, or actually Tiger Hair to build it up with, and then to start with and finish it off with Bondo. I'm just going to use some JB Weld. I have a little bit of that left, and I don't need much. The reason I'm doing it is because I got it and it's just a small repair, and this JB weld is basically leftover, and if I don't use it, it will eventually go bad. Once you mix it up pretty much, it's uniform color, stuff's pretty sticky, and I want it to go through the hole and build up on the other side a little bit, otherwise it's just going to fall out. And if it was just a dent here, I probably wouldn't have worried about it, but because I had actually rust hole through, I decided I better go ahead and patch it. This stuff is going to start sagging, and if I use the paper, it will stick to the paper and will all stay in place. So I'm just going to do 2 little ones, and it will help me. I can push the JB weld in a little bit so it will actually fill the hole better. And it will be a little bit smoother by doing this, which means less sanding. Now, JB weld dries fairly fast, so I'm just going to leave it on for about 15 minutes, and then I'll pull it off.